Welcome to another week, everyone. Ads from Unity Trading Group here. Welcome to Monday. Keen to get into the charts over the course of tonight and the rest of this week. A little bit has happened over the weekend, so we'll get into it. But first, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Every subscription helps us out a lot, so that goes a long way. If you haven't already, Trade Hacker by Unity Trading Group. Jump into this Facebook group, and there's a lot of updates obviously rolling out over the course of the days, and we're planning on doing Facebook only bits and pieces in the future, so make sure you're in there. And of course, www.unitytradinggroup.com. You can get access to all of our indicators, all of our guides. A to Z Beginner Trader Series, a very, very detailed look at the markets if you're a beginner, so share that around. If you have anyone that wants to get into, the trading space, and of course, join the Discord if you haven't already. There's a lot of good people in there, and our community is thriving. So get involved. So BTC. Now, the last time we had a video was Friday, and that was the 9th, I believe. So we were roughly around, here-ish. Before a movement ups, and we did have that level of supply drawn in, across the across the right hand side there, and that's why we did get held up for a little bit of time here at 11,100. So we spoke, tremendously last week about the possibilities to the upside and the possibilities to the downside. So the possibilities to the upside did come to fruition, which is good to see. And I did do an update, I believe, Friday morning or Saturday morning in the Discord, just to update you guys on what I thought and what I was seeing on BTC in particular, and what I thought might be the outcome of the next couple of days. So we still haven't seen anything as of yet. The volume's been decreasing since our push and our flurries over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday for us in Melbourne. So. It's going to be interesting to see what transpires here over the next couple of days, and I want to talk about this quite extensively. So right now we're sitting at this level of supply. Subsequently, we are at this 61 levels of Fibonacci as well. That that rolls across. Rolls across the top of that level of supply, and we have made some movements through that. So that's a good sign. And anyone who's watched our videos on supply and demand really knows. What we expect to happen in terms of a broken level of supply. However, this doesn't need to happen straight away. So we can expect, if BTC does hang around here and it starts moving to the upside, it will with little, I wouldn't say little resistance, but it will with decreased level of resistance that it would initially found if it was sitting underneath this level of supply. So we have cleared out a lot of these short positions. Sorry, excuse my language, and we are primed, should I say, for a movement to the upside if we can get some more volume in here, because we have moved through this level of supply now, and we know that once you move through it, the next reasonable outcome for a move through a level of supply is the one up top at about this 11,950 12k area. However, and there's always a but to everything, I've drawn in the levels of demand that I think are most relevant. So we got the one at 11.1 and we got the one at 10,900, which could probably come up a little bit, but for the sake of this example, I'll leave it in there. And that lines up quite nicely with our 50 level of fibs and our 38.2 level of fibs on the higher time frame as well. So that's swing high to swing low on a daily time frame. That's how I've drawn these Fibonacci levels in, and I'll squeeze them in just a little bit so we can see what the hell's going on if I zoom back into the chart. Okay, so we've got these levels pretty clearly drawn out. That's one. All right, that's one. Number two, we've got Steamroller being quite overbought. You probably saw this coming with the bright red dot and Steamroller being in that overbought condition. Obviously, Steamroller is not one that you should ignore on any time frame. and it has been, and it always has been quite successful on BTC, especially on the daily and the 4-hour time frame. So that's not something that I'm ignoring right now. And we have moved out of this overbought level now, but we are still quite exhausted, if you can see by that green shading just in that level too. So that's number two. Second thing, third thing, we are looking quite oversold still on our RSI, CCI, moving a little bit more prematurely back into the median range, but RSI definitely still around that oversold level, around that 69, 68 level as it stands, at, what's the time, 7:30 on this Monday evening. The next thing I really want to bring to your attention, I haven't seen this thrown around the Discord at all, is this. So we'll come back to BTC USD. We'll go over to the BTC CME chart. And, we've got this gap that we formed, around this 9.9 to 9.6 area. We all know about this gap. We've spoken about it pretty extensively in the past. And we did bounce off it, on the 9th of September. So that wasn't too bad. That gave us, a level of, level of demand where we knew where there was going to be a lot of buys there, a lot of long positions were going to be coming in at that CME. So it is, makes sense that we did bounce off the start of the level, and this gap could be filled in the future. However, we are looking just ahead of us. But you will notice, and I probably don't even have to draw this in for you to notice, but we have formed another gap. We have formed a gap between 11.3 and 11.1. And if I split the chart into two, and then we go back to BTC USD, don't know what's going on there. It's bringing up a really old chart for some reason. Let's go that one there, and let's go that one there. Okay. If I draw in that one again, you can see that 11,350 is here. All right, so around about here-ish, okay, which we are bouncing off, and we are, using it as somewhat a level of support at the moment. However, the other level is around 11.1, which lines up fairly nicely. Just honestly, it's not going to be exact, so don't expect it to be. But it lines up fairly well with our 50 fibs thereabouts and our level of demand there. So what can you take from this? Gaps like this, statistically 95% chance of being filled. We know that, we've heard about that, we've spoken about that. However, we have some more, indicators and have some more bias that we're going to get some form of a pullback. So we've got steamroller, we've got RSI, we've got, the fact that we've gone from 10.5 to nearly pretty much 11.5, within the space of, let's say, 2 days pretty much. So that to me sounds like it needs a little bit of a relief, a little bit of relaxation, a little bit of a lull before a potential move up. And that potential move up could come in the form of, around that 11,950, 12,000 level. If this level of supply and these rules that but these guidelines that we teach, come to fruition. So just be mindful of all that. Another thing I want to bring to your guys, everyone's attention, is the Blockchain Whisperers 2.0. We spoke about this a couple of last week, I believe, and the week before, about Bitcoin longs versus shorts, long squeezes, everything like that. We are still over the 50-50 mark in the way of longs are far outweighing the shorts, 73 to 26 on Binance, 61 to 38, and totaling, including Bitfinex as well, 77 to 22. I know that there is a substantial amount more margin in the long positions on BitMEX than there is shorts. So the one that I really want to bring to everyone's attention is the Binance one. Here, sorry, not BitMEX, there was Bitfinex that I was referring to, my apologies. As you can see, 86 to 13. I do apologize, that was the one I was referring to. BitMEX and Binance's longs versus shorts are the ones you really want to look at to really gauge the direction of the CFD space and the futures space to see what buys versus sells there are in the book. So BitMEX 73.26, Binance 61.38, still in very high favor of the longs. So if we come down, have our pullback to around this 11,150 mark, that would be a nice, decent, claw back to some of that margin that they're lending out at the moment. So all in all, in conclusion to this long-winded explanation of BTC, we've been on for 10 minutes now. If we do start to move to the upside and we don't get our pullback, the upside potential is around that 78.6 level, 11,908, and around that 12k level of supply, where we see that really, really nice market pivot there on the left-hand side, just in the top left-hand corner. If we do get that pullback that we're expecting, that I'm favoring, to be honest, I'm looking at this 11,150 area alongside this demand. And if we get more of a substantial pullback, you're looking at a 10.9 area there. If I just to finalize this draw in our fibs to really gauge that last level, I know it's a little bit hard to read. We've got the 38 sitting very nicely in between the 38 and the 50 is our level of demand. The first one there, 11.1. And then we've got the 61.8, 10.896 sitting our level, very nice level here at our lower demand level. So the fibs line up for a pullback, honestly, they do. That 38.2, that 11.1 area would be the first area of interest that I'm interested in. Okay, moving on, ETH USD. We'll keep these short. BTC went for a little bit longer than I expected it to. So we have moved through this level of supply now, and we just touched that overbought level on Steamroller. It is a fantastic indicator. It really is. Look at the levels that are respected. Like, absolutely incredible. Feat. And we have our developer Craigs to thank for that. So what I expect for ETH, a little bit easier to see in the way of what our pullback will probably look like if we do expect one for Ethereum. You're looking at that 366 level, not far away, to be honest. If we clear out that level of supply there that we have pushed through and eaten away over the last little bit, we've got two areas of interest that I'm really looking at. We're looking at 366 and back at that mean level that we always talk about. We always have been talking about it, the 356 area. There. So we are bouncing very nicely off, this level of support, if we could just imagine that one in there too. Yeah, I do expect this to pull back, just as I do expect BTC to pull back. It's a little bit oversold, especially BTC. A little bit overbought, on the emphasis of BTC emphasizing that. So I do expect Ethereum to follow suit, and more than likely we will see that pullback, get to around that 366 if we respect these levels of demand. Last one I'll look at very quickly is the DXY. Obviously, DXY is a regulated market. It's part of Forex. These are just ideas and opinions of Team UTG. This is not regarded as financial advice at all. With the DXY, we have been trending towards our level of demand there at around this 92.89 or 92.93 area. We've got a lot of liquidity sitting to the left-hand side, and this has been as predictable as ever. If you go back and watch some of our videos, last week Thursday, last week Friday, last week Wednesday, Tuesday, we've been speaking about the DXY pretty much every single day, and nothing's changed. We are moving towards these descending areas of interest where we're talking about our fibs, 61.8, 78.6, 88.6, and ultimately our level of demand if we even get there, or if this is going to be that front run. But Steamroller has been telling us that as well. We have been descending. We did get rejected on the mean or that center band area, and we have been descending towards our 78.6 and ultimately that 92.93, 92.885 area for our level of demand. And our indicators have been trending in the same direction, which is nice to see. Very nice and very predictable price action. At the moment, Steamroller is quite oversold now. We are getting our tick or our green dot now to tell us that we are quite oversold, and we can expect some movement to the upside from here, especially on this time frame. And I do agree with Steamroller, honestly. More than likely, we will see some form of respected indicators there. And where I do expect it to get to, excuse me one sec. Where I do expect it to get to is that line I just drew in there, where we see a decent area of liquidity. If I just adjust that down to our level of the 61.8, and that's an even better level, 93.51, where we've got a very short term, I won't draw it in, level of supply, and we do have a lot of liquidity sitting to the left hand side. So if I have to say, I do expect this to give us a relief to the upside, 93.51 where I would expect it to retest, or to give us that flurry, to give us that movement to the upside before we make ultimately a decision. Do we come back down, or do we continue to the next level? So that's everything that I'm looking at the moment. BTC, ETH USD, and the DXY. Like I said before, www.unitytradinggroup.com. You can get involved, and all the information you need is on that website. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a lot, and I'll see you all tomorrow night for our live session, 7:30 Melbourne time. Catch you then.